Shelton. Now, this is one of those rare occasions where I am beginning a journey with an artist that I am somewhat familiar with, I know of, but don't know much about. We've had that happen a few times on this channel. And so Blake is in that category. I know his name, I know his face, I know he dates Gwen. He's married to Gwen Stefani. I know he's on The Voice. I know he's a legend. But unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know a lot about his music. I know everything except his music, right? So it's that situation. Because I was initially introduced to him through The Voice. It was one season in particular. I want to say it was the 2016 year that I watched The Voice, and of course Blake. I think he's been on the show since its conception, if I'm not mistaken. So that's where I was like really introduced to him, and I heard his name before that because I remember him performing at some big award shows. But that's really why I was introduced to him and really got a good feel for him as a person, his sense of humor. He's really funny, Blake Shelton. I really, really like him. And so, yeah, long story short, I know of Blake Shelton, but I don't know him. I don't know his music. I don't know anything like that. So before we get into the reaction, which is God's Country, which I'm assuming he's talking about America, do some quick research and then we're going to get into it, all right? So he's an American singer, songwriter, television personality. In 2001, he made his debut with the single Austin from his first album, Blake Shelton. Austin spent 5 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. The now platinum certified debut album also produced 2 more top 20 entries, All Over Me and Over It. His second and third albums are gold and platinum, respectively. His fourth album was reissued in 2008. His fifth album was released 2008. Damn, he dropped 2 albums in 1 year. Some extended plays. As of December 2020, Shelton has charted 40 singles, including 28 number ones. I'm assuming they're talking about the country charts, not Billboard Hot 100. He's received 9 Grammy nominations, including 2 for Best Country Album. He has been a judge on the televised singing competitions Nashville Star. I never heard of that. Clash of the Choirs, never heard of that, and coach on NBC's The Voice. He was on The Voice from 2011 to 2023. Oh, wow. Why are you not doing it this year? Or is the show completely gone? Or is he just... Oh, I gotta look that up. That's crazy. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, wow, him and Gwen just got married, 2021. I thought they'd been married for a minute. They don't have his labels. Oh, yes, they do. Giant, Warner Music, Nashville, Reprise Nashville. Okay, he's from Oklahoma. All right, Blake Shelton. Well, yeah, a good portion of that I knew. Again, not the music stuff, but more of the personal and television stuff I knew. So, look, I'm really excited with Blake Shelton. I'm familiar with his voice. I really love his voice. He has a very strong, powerful voice. I really can't think of anybody to compare him to, but it's just a real good, strong voice. And he has the perfect voice for country music. So, really excited to hear it, man. And it's a music video. We got some visuals. We'll do the song research afterwards. But let's get into it.
Outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We Pray for rain and thank him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in a plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up.
As my knee literally just popped. Is that? I mean, there's definitely real footage, but who, like, like, that footage of the old Western stuff? Where does that come from? It's fascinating. That's why I'm like genuinely like intrigued. Like, that's great footage. Like, I've never seen it before. But to the song itself, it kind of reminds me. Oh man, I'm blanking. I'm blanking. Who's the other country artist that I listened to that had a song about the country being better? Was it Hank Williams Jr.? I can't think of who it was, but just another one of those records where it's all about the pride of being from the countryside of America. Um, it's so funny, like, as somebody who was born and raised in the city, um, or in more city-like areas, um, even when I travel down south and see some of my family, and like you see some of those like real small pocket towns, like you almost forget like these places exist. So I'm seeing this footage of like just these small towns and small areas that's, they've been there forever, been there before anybody, on this planet was there. But it's like you just forget those areas exist. Like, it's people that live, like, it'd be parts when I'm just driving down 95 and you just looking out the window and you just see like nothing but grass, and you like, oh my gosh, don't nobody, like, nobody lives here, right? I mean, it's nobody. You don't have a neighbor for like another 10 miles. Like, I'm sure the phone connection out here is terrible, and you're like, it's people who really live in those parts of the country. Again, it's people who live in those areas that are gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but it's just it always kind of like baffles me when I see that stuff. But to the song itself, Blake, again, I'm very familiar with Blake Shelton's voice. I really, really like it. Again, just a very strong, powerful voice. It's very firm, and you recognize it immediately. Like, if it was one of those situations where you blindfolded me and just put earphones on me and had different people singing, like, I would be able to pick Blake Shelton's voice. He has a very distinctive, strong voice that you immediately identify. And to the song itself is great. I always love when people take pride of who they are and where they're from. Love it.
When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Yeah, I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
Who the hell was that woman on those backing vocals? I swear the backing vocals in country music, and I don't know why they don't be included in the song. Like, it be so beautiful. These women who, again, they only singing backing vocals, but it sounds incredible. Like, you could tell, like, if it was their song, you would probably like it more. Like, I just love female backing vocals in country music. It's just, it's great. It's great. You know, when I think about Blake Shelton, outside of him, Keith Urban, Chris Stapleton, like, who has really made that crossover? Like, because country music is kind of one of those genres where it's like, it's popular within that culture, that genre. But it's not one of those genres that's like that. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just very. It's not cult like, but it's just, we love you, and that's mainly who loves you. Like, a lot of other genres of music, like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna try not to use a pop reference, because that's the whole point of being a pop star. It's like you don't care to know pop stars, but you have to know. You know what I mean? Because it's pop music. You know what I mean? You hear it even when you don't want to hear it. So you naturally, you know Beyonce, you know Taylor Swift, you know these names because they're in pop music, right? But I'm trying to think. Like a Chris Brown. Everybody knows Chris. Well, maybe more so because of controversy. I don't know, but I just feel like I don't know a lot of country artists. I know a lot of artists in a lot of different genres. And it's not because I want to, it's just natural. But I feel like with country, outside of Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, and Chris Stapleton, I really don't know a lot of country artists. It's like they're in that pocket, and I don't know, it's like I just don't see them a lot. And it doesn't get pushed. So maybe I think that's really what it is. Like, it just doesn't get pushed to the forefront like a lot of other genres. I don't know. Considering that, like, country is like one of the earlier genres to be created, especially here in America. You just would think it would be pushed a little bit more, but it's not, for whatever reason. But I'm sure for a lot of people that's a good thing, right? I think a lot of people probably prefer it that way, you know. But anyway, God's Country, Blake Shelton. For one, record was incredible. I really like John's voice on it. Very powerful message. Again, anytime you just take pride and just really represent who you are and where you're from, I always like those records. And Blake has a perfect voice for it. Nothing really stood out in particular vocally outside of the backing vocals that came in towards the end. I don't know who that lady was. Hopefully they tell us when we do this research. She was incredible. But Blake sounds great. Again, I'm familiar with Blake's voice, so like I'm not surprised by anything. It was just a great record. So released March 29th, 2019 as the first single and partial title track from his compilation album Fully Loaded God's Country. The song was written by David Dawson, Jordan Schmidt, and Michael Hardy. A southern rock anthem is how the song has been described. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Dawson stated that he and his fellows wrote the song on a Thursday and that Blake heard it, and by Monday he had it recorded. Well, that's how it worked. Shelton first heard the song while working on his farm in Oklahoma and was blown away by the song. He related, I had to stop and just listen to this song because the song was talking to me about a place that I was in at that moment, which was a place in the middle of nowhere that meant something to me that probably nobody else could ever understand. You know, again, y'all know I'm stupid, but you know, I don't know why I'm acting like I'm some sort of Einstein. I mean, the song and the video pretty much paint a picture, so it's not like I just just revolutionized breaking down a song. But honest to God, like, again, and this is just the parts of the country that I've been to, which is mainly along the East Coast. Like, I've never been to the Midwest. So places where they got tumbleweed and all that other stuff, I ain't even seen that type of stuff. I know I would be amazed if I were to go in like those parts of the country. But yeah, he performed the song at the 54th Academy of Country Music Awards. Shelton has stated that God's Country is a song that has a strong and deep, meaningful lyric, but at the same time, it leaves it up to the listener's interpretation. I would agree with that as well, right? Because it's not like he really specified a location. So God's Country, obviously, he's talking about the country, so he's talking about everywhere, but he was talking about a particular place, right? He's talking about the country. He's talking about away from the city, away from urbanization. He's talking about the country. But because he didn't really specify a particular he really didn't paint a picture geographically of exactly where he's talking about, you could kind of, it does leave the song up for interpretation to be wherever you want it to be, which is cool as well. It was the best-selling country song in its first week of sales with 32,000. That's really good. It was gold by June 27, 2019, and platinum by July 31st, 2019. Wait, huh? Oh, is it talking about this song? It has sold 540,000 copies in the U.S. as of March 2020. So that's gold. That's not platinum. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. The Dust Bowl. Okay, so the music video, it depicts Shelton singing and working on a modern farm with historical footage of the Dust Bowl storms. Gotcha. That's what that's from. Still, I've never seen those visuals before. So that was cool. The video is intended to convey the intensity of farm life while juxtaposing the good, beautiful things of God's country, and also the wrath of God. Yeah, I would agree with all of that. Song won Single of the Year at the 2019 CMAs. That's when he received his 9th Grammy nomination at the Grammys. Okay. Made it to the Hot 100 at number 17. That's really good. Oh, but now right here it says 4 times platinum with 4 million copies sold. Okay, I don't know, but I'll go with what it say right here. 4 million copies. That's really damn good. Maybe they were talking about the album. I don't know, but 4 million copies. That's incredible. Again, like you just don't see a lot of country artists selling 4 million copies. So like, I feel like Blake, Keith, and Chris are really like the only three that do that. Outside of that, I really don't. I don't know. I know they got this new woman right now. She went viral. Not because of her music, because she had a little rump in the trunk. What was her name? Is it Lainey Wilson? Haley Wilson? It's something Wilson. I can't think of her name. But I know she's become very popular, but it's like, I can count on one hand the amount of country artists that are just going platinum. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like that's normal. And so when you see Blake doing 4 times platinum, it's like, wow. He's really one of the few that really blossomed into something bigger than even country music. You know what I mean? So just really, really rare. But so good to hear Blake Shelton and begin my journey into his music. I'm so happy for the request and so happy to learn more about him as an artist. Again, I know more about him outside of the music than I do the music. So happy to finally change that. Y'all let me know what else from Blake Shelton I need to check out. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget that 75K giveaway. And until next time with Blake Shelton. Peace.